All right, you guys asked and I've listened. I have had several people ask, who am I following in 2025? Who am I inspired by? Who am I motivated by? And who am I learning by? We're going to dive into this list. I want to give you guys kind of an overview for you guys to go in, dive in, and see if any of these people might be good for you too. All right, so the first person on my list is the School of Hard Knocks. Now, the gentleman that runs this created a media company that promotes financial literacy through engaging content. The interviews that are conducted in their content shows that everyone can become something from nothing. And some of the people that they have interviewed are some of the most successful people that have become something from nothing. They show that you're not alone in your journey to conquer everything. Next up is Patrick Bet-David. He's a businessman and podcaster and talks about topics like current events going on in our country, business, pop culture, and often offers insight and advice into how all of this can bring the best out of you, how you can learn from it, changes that you can make, and the things that you can do to conquer the challenges that you face, and things to keep an eye on and what's going on in the world around you and how it may affect you. Next is Sabastian Enges. He's an industry-leading mental conditioning and performance coach working with thousands of professionals across the United States, where he trains and develops them in their leadership and entrepreneurial skills. Now, the cool thing about Sabastian is he is a very down-to-earth guy, doesn't sugarcoat things. He's just very direct about what he thinks, how he sees it, and loves it when people return in the exact same way in conversation with him. Gary Vaynerchuk, a multifaceted entrepreneur, investor, influencer, best-selling author, and podcast host who is an expert in social media and strongly encourages that the younger generation not be in such a rush to grow up, but to rather focus on figuring out who they are before determining what they are going to become. He very much talks about how this idea that our society has that you need to be a full-on big-name star by the time you're in your early 30s, that you need to already have a family by the time you're in your mid-20s. He said it's not a bad thing to have that. You just don't need to feel rushed to do it, because in the long run, that's what leads to a lot of failure, a lot of discontent, and a lot of negativity within your lives when you feel rushed by it and you're not just following the natural flow of what is best for you. And then someone I discovered recently, Phillip Anthony Mitchell. He's the founder and lead pastor of 2819 Church in Atlanta, Georgia. He is a very strongly spirit-led, spirit-filled leader within the church that is not afraid to take a stand in defending the faith that has been corrupted throughout the West and defining it as how it was intended to be, but not as how it is defined today. Now, a little bit of change of pace. Another person that I follow is Peter McKinnon. He is a YouTube vlogger and content creator whose primary focus is in photography and cinematography, so working in the media world. But he also likes to apply a lot of life lessons to the work that he does, things that he learns not only in a professional setting, but things that he learns in his personal life and ends up applying to both his personal and professional life.
Focusing more on health. Because I felt like, how do you become a better filmmaker? How do you become a better photographer? And I think one of those ingredients is by getting everything else dialed as well. If you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not eating good enough, if you're not exercising, all of those things will impact your creativity. So I wanted to go back and start at the source of those things, which was getting my health on track, sleeping more, drinking more water, exercising on a regular basis, no alcohol, no sugar, getting those things dialed so that I can start with a good base.
A YouTube channel that I discovered recently called Starter Story. This is a channel that focuses on the idea of showcasing how people can become successful entrepreneurs through the multiple ways in which they approach building and growing the businesses that they have today through a variety of means, methods, motivations, inspirations. Basically what they do is they go through the profiles of these different entrepreneurs, big and small, outlining how they made it to where they are today, what they're going to do next, and why they were motivated to go the direction they did to begin with. And the last one I'm going to share with you guys is The Diary of a CEO. This is a podcast series hosted by entrepreneur, speaker, investor, author, and dragon on Europe's Dragon's Den, their version of Shark Tank, Stephen Bartlett, where he dives into interviewing countless entrepreneurs, celebrities, who talk about many different topics, including how their lives, businesses, and more are affected by the status of the world today, the red flags that they see, the changes that they have to make to adjust, and a lot more. Alright guys, so this is a very basic rundown view of just these are the kind of the main people that I follow on a regular basis, the ones that I make sure that their content is usually the first to pop up on my different social media platforms. You guys can find the platforms that I follow them on in the description below. It's a mix of their Instagram and YouTube. Some of them it's both Instagram and YouTube that I follow them on, but you guys have the opportunity to go take a look into them for yourself. See if they are people that are going to be beneficial for you to follow, for you to learn from. Again, I am a very strong advocate advocate of the belief that not one thing works for everybody, not one size fits all, not one solution is the solution to every problem, even if it seems like it is the same problem over and over again. I strongly encourage you guys, take a look at these people. Thanks again. Please take a moment to follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel and across my different social media platforms, and I will see you guys next time.